All right.
Found my roommate is a cat. Yay! Okay, yeah, sorry.
No, you're good. Okay.
It's an awesome show.
All right. Previously in the GodBreaking, a group of adventurers found themselves in dire conflict against Harrow, a demon of some strength, a houndmaster, someone who had been beset upon tracking down and killing Akelia. You guys fought him and his hounds, his multiple hounds, and the reinforcements that came after him, and eventually managed to slay him and make a narrow escape as the horde of shrikes and balors and everything closed in on you. Speeding off a good distance away, you let's see. Did you? Oh yeah, you went to the town that Shimble came from, and managed to liberate the small baby incarnates that were there. I think there were three of them.
Wearing certain demons as meat suits.
Yes, yes. Yeah, Deimos and Elwyn killed a couple demons and wore their skin as suits.
It was Batman.
And then you guys made your way to Torm's Vigil, where you encountered the Archangel Altruus. And there you learned that the vigils are the beacons. They're ancient beacons. They predate this pantheon of gods and probably several pantheons of gods before them. They are the things that anchor Elysium to Mount Celestia, and they are beginning to fail. One of them has stopped functioning. One of the three vigils. And there were each vigil was guarded and empowered by by each of the three sibling gods that ruled Elysium: Torm, Tyr, and Tempest. What you found is that one of the vigils has gone under; it has ceased to function, and that has caused an undue amount of strain to be placed upon the remaining two vigils, and they are beginning to grow unstable. Altruus asks you to look into that. He senses that there's a great darkness that has caused one of the vigils to stop working. But he also had another request, a second request. The archdemon Tibubo has been vying for this location. He has been aggressive in the past against Altruus's vigil, which is the vigil of Torm, and he's growing in power. And Altruus fears that he will not be able to hold Tibubo off much longer, so he asks you to help him in this matter. And then he told you some other things. I forget what they were exactly. And kind of set you on your way. You guys managed to stay here and get a long rest near the vigil, with Altruus's peaceful, serene presence just overwatching you. Above you, humming floating and humming in the air above you, is the vigil of Torm. You gather that gods were responsible for them, but they in no way created them. And now with Torm gone, Altruus has dedicated himself to keeping and defending this particular vigil. Let's see. Let me make sure you guys all get your long rest. Oops.
We had a terrible scrying moment where somebody lost spell slots permanently.
Yes, Adis reached out with sending spells to try to taunt Tabubo, and as a result found that the spell slots that he had used to cast the sending spells had been permanently consumed. And they'd grown dark in his own repertoire. No longer accessible to him. Okay, so you guys are resting there under Torm's vigil, overwatched by Altruus. With you is Akelia. Shimbul and the baby incarnates are also near you, and it's even though there's relatively few of you there, um, you guys are encountering the first bit of comfort and rest and true rest that you have had in a while. It's been an amount of time with all the stress and the tumults of the war that had happened down in Tandesh, and it's been quite a while since you guys have found yourself resting as peacefully as you do this evening. Okay. Is there anything you guys want to do as the night wears on?
Yes. I would like to spend. Let's see here. Oops. I would like to spend an hour casting Misty Tips 600 times.
Okay.
To try to get better at it.
1 hour, 600 times. How does that work? You're casting it 10 times per.
Since I'm level
per
20, I have
second?
an ability to. Well, you cast it around 6 seconds, so yeah, 10 times a minute.
Oh, 10 times a minute.
Yeah. And I have an ability that I have spell mastery, so Featherfall and Misty Step I can cast as many times a day as I want without using a spell set.
Okay.
Just trying to get better at it, and then anything I pick up on it from it, like about how to weave it to make it work, I'll impart to Elwyn.
Roll a d20.
Okay.
You feel yourself. It might be the weariness of the day, or perhaps this environment, but you find yourself completely dumbfounded in how to make teleportation and immaterial movement through this plane work. Your 600th attempt is no better than your first.
Alright, and I will impart as much of that information onto Elwyn to help him with him devising ways to cast it appropriately.
So absolutely nothing.
Nothing.
No, even in
Deimos
failure, you learn things.
Going to cast Rip Portal. So I'm gonna try to teach myself how to actually like teleport Misty Step. It's like I like reach into like the whole like thing that's holding this plane together, rip it apart with buff ass arms, walk through it, and then shut it. So like I'd be in a different place. So here's my D20. You have to pull it apart.
So you flex your muscles, and again you're only wearing your tighty whities, and your shield is strapped on your back, and you have your gauntlets on, and you close your eyes and you squint real hard, and you reach out and grab the air in front of you, and you clench your fists, and you can see every muscle in your body flexing and tightening, right? And you tear the air in front of you open, and you take a step forward. And you open your eyes, and you are. Yeah, you're 3 feet further forward than you were than when you started.
I successfully conquered this because my normal steps are like 2 feet and 11 inches and like 0.9. So like I get like an extra like 0.9 inch out of this. So I pass this along to this.
I just clap. Bravo! I've never seen anyone rip time and space with their bare hands. Bravo!
You worked up a little bit of a sweat.
A wizard. You are truly a wizard of great power and skill, Deimos.
I know. Look at me.
There's a sheen of sweat across your back and across your forehead.
I take the pamphlet I have in my backpack and I show it to the incarnates and the rabbit, and I'm like, worship Tempest, and I point to Deimos' flexing as he does his whole ripping the air open.
You've already been trying to sell them on worshiping your friend, and now you're trying to change their mind?
I've only been telling people to like worship Tempest.
No, I'm talking about your friend that's standing right next to you.
Akelia's fine with it. She's still a deity in training.
Yeah, everybody. Tempest. Like, what do you not get about this?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, speaking of Akelia, I'm still interested in making that amulet to mask her divinity just in case. But
Okay.
but oh my god, look at their little young'uns. Oh
The
my god,
the so these incarnates are very little, and one of them goes up and starts nibbling on the edge of the pamphlet.
I try to raise it higher so that
Oh,
we
okay,
don't
so
lose the pamphlet.
wait, does he try and nibble on the sacred Tempest pamphlet?
Yes.
Kids got to learn sometime. I pile drive him into the ground at full force.
Jesus, no!
All right, so you pick the okay.
I get a protein shake instead. Don't ask where I got it from.
All right. The baby goat the baby goat reaches up and I guess begins to lick the protein shake out of whatever container you're presenting it to him in.
I point
Yes.
to James'
So-
six pack. You know,
Six
like,
pack? I didn't know I was only 3. Six pack's got a 47 pack. But mainly, I'm spending the night trying to as we're resting and stuff, trying to talk to this angel guy to see if we can get any more detail on these what could cause these things to go down, or if there's an archangel at each one of them. If there's any other big baddie boys besides El Magic Eater Man and stuff
Okay.
like that.
All right, so you're asking those questions. Okay.
Yes.
Altruus.
well-
Oh, go on. Go ahead.
While we're getting a long rest, I would ask Akelia if there's any way that that I can happen, or maybe if I need to use a miracle to reset my spell list, since we're probably not leveling up.
Okay. All right.
Or if
So
she
wait a
knows
second.
way.
Let me do Deimos first. All right. So Deimos, you're asking Altruus. What are you asking him again specifically?
Mainly, if there's any other major threats that are going around still, or mainly has everything been moving up, and these are just the last remnants of the stuff going up the mountain, and
Okay.
if there's archangels at the other bastions, and if possibly one got killed or something, if that's why one of them went down.
And
Okay.
are you sure you don't have a red phone to connect each other, or
Yeah.
this passageway, the secret door leading to each other? I mean, surely you talk,
you'd think
you know,
that they might have
like-
something.
like gossip chat. I don't know.
Okay. All right. Altruus kind of leans its head over in your direction, looking down from you. It's a very large angelic creature and high above you. Looking down, you can see this massive halo of energy just glowing around it and just kind of illuminating this area, almost like a second moon in the sky. And you hear its serene voice come across to you.
When the demons set foot on this plane, and gods and angels fell before that ravenous horde, we, archangels, the ones who could, stepped in to fill the roles of our fallen masters. In the chaos and in the din, much was thrown into disarray. Much I do not know. I watch over Torm's domains. Courage and mercy. I know that one yet still governs over that which Tyr maintained. I know not whom, but I suspect I suspect that my counterpart is alive and well. For justice on the mortal plane has not fled, and it is still in existence, even in these dark times. The Vigil of Tempest is likewise, or the domain of Tempest is likewise at full strength. War pervades the lands below, as you have seen. So his portfolio is being maintained as well. As to who or which angels maintain these portfolios, I know not. All I can say is that the energy of the vigils wavers and grows weaker by the day.
Okay.
But so the only thing we can get out is she doesn't really, or he, whatever it is, doesn't know, like, what could cause these things to fail. They just start failing. Is that it?
One of the vigils is no longer maintaining its place in this plane. The anchors have begun to slide and slip in their founding. My vigil, all I know is that my vigils cannot bear the strain. I know not which vigil has failed or has grown dark. I only sense that the need and the urgency of this matter grows with each passing day.
Okay. I appreciate the info. Also, my name is Tempest, and not Tempest, so it's Deimos. And if you ever decide to follow another god or work, you take this pamphlet, stick this right here. You can read it at any point in time. But with this, I'm gonna go to sleep. I'm already in my sleeping clothes, as you see. There's in my underwear.
Mortal,
Yes.
your kind has not set foot on this plane for eternity past. Your presence here is special.
Hey,
We angels cannot hope towards divinity, and our strength is limited. I will not be able to maintain Torm's portfolio forever. My own life force dwindles. But you are something different entirely. Perhaps there is hope for you.
And that is something the camp counselors have never said to me. They were like, Deimos, I have hope for you. They're always just like, Deimos, steps, get out of the gravy pool. But I understand. The only thing I can ask you is, you must know if there's possibly super strong followers that are potentially in line for divinity to help you with this portfolio that are totally doing the stuff with your guy. And do you ever think if we could reach out to them? Because I'm pretty sure I could contact them.
I know not. But I do know this. You are no follower of Tempest. At least not Tempest as I knew him.
Wait, you must have met Tempest, at a different time. We had a few too many drinks, but I tell you what, I swear Tempest is a super cool kid. He's like, I draw a picture in the pamphlet, as you can see right here. Yes, it looks like this thing.
Could you extrapolate on that, because that sounds interesting and also worrying. What do you mean?
Tempest might just be too high in the pecking order to just meet a mere Archangel. That's just what I'm thinking.
Is Tempest going through a midlife crisis?
What's your bench?
This image on your pamphlets is indeed Tempest, the god of war, brother of Tyr and Torm, one of the three that oversaw the realm of Elysium. But you have a different aura about you. Not like the Tempest that I knew. But Tempest has not been on this plane since the demons invaded. And war has a way of changing a creature, even one so great as the god of war.
So what you're saying is he got even stronger and better. This is good news. So I should write this down here, right here in the pamphlet subsection area. Tempest is even better than we previously have thought.
Tempest
Yes.
changed. It wasn't necessarily better.
Perhaps. Change does not need to be better or worse. It is just different.
You're throwing a lot of stuff on me, Mr. or Mrs. And I'm just a wee little boy who happens and can bench a truck.
You should probably, talk to Tempest at some point and just double check that he still cares about you being able to bench press the truck.
It's
You
true.
know,
Pray
just in
tell.
case.
What is a truck?
You want to know what a truck is? I'll show you what a truck is. Guys, what's a truck? Just hold here for a second.
Ooh. And I said I tried to draw on the ground
It's a
because I
six- it's a-
YouTubed and I
It's a
saw a truck.
six-wheeled wagon. It's a
So
six-wheeled
I
wagon.
draw like a wagon with 6 wheels, and like it's just a wagon with 6 wheels, and it's like big.
And it's pulled by ogres.
It's
I
pulled
draw
by-
Optimus Prime in his truck
Yes.
form
Optimus Prime is pulling it.
because
It's
I
Optimus
YouTubed.
Prime's ogre is pulling it. It's like
Well then.
a 6-wheel thing.
I'm like, I'm pretty sure this is what that is.
Ah. A wagon. A wagon that moves and is pulled by large creatures that have robotic-like voices. I see.
Yeah, that's pretty
Odd.
much it. And
Those
I
are
believe it
those are
runs
called
off the-
golems, Damos.
They
it's run
travel.
off. No. These things are run off the liquid forms of dinosaurs. Like, you know, when dinosaurs die, they turn into liquid, and it runs off of liquid dinosaurs.
Yes, I saw Cosmos parts of it on YouTube.
That makes
Yes.
sense. I mean, it makes sense to me. It should make sense. Don't ask questions. You understand. I'm a wizard and a physicist.
Real life.
You're
I'm also
a
a
physicist.
physicist now,
No, you're a physicist.
and also a bard. I have to take up a
Physicist.
lot of. Yes,
That-
I'm a physicist.
Oh, that has bad connotations.
Well, Deimos, great physicist and
Mhm.
follower of Tempest. My hopes and my prayers are with you. For this plane is not long for existence, should things continue as they have been.
We'll
Go
be
now,
fixed.
great physicist. Rest, for you will certainly need your strength in the morning.
Can you?
Yes,
Deimos
mighty
changes
Timacist.
into his sleeping clothing.
Which is minus the undie.
Mm-hmm. I use this as a blanket. Keep me warm. I didn't pick a blanket.
You cover your face with the shield, don't you?
So as you take off your tidy whities and you start falling asleep, you hear,
Ah, perhaps he is indeed a follower of Tempest after all.
Yes. Physicists. I probably should not have just fallen asleep naked in front of you, should I? It was my bad on my part. Well, you get what you see.
Okay, so Renly, you were trying to create an amulet for Akelia to mask her divinity. What were you doing to do that again? What were the ways you were trying to do that?
I remember I'd asked Akelia about whether she had any magics that could mask her signature, and she mentioned she did, but that it would take a lot of time and that would be very, very complicated. So I was going to provide backup to that and Spark of Insight it.
Okay.
But at the same time, I do not know whether we already had a long rest, and therefore, because I don't remember what spell slots I had before the long rest.
All right, whatever. So here. So before the long rest, you and Kelly are talking, and she says, "Renly, thank you for your aid. I believe that with your assistance, or perhaps a bit of encouragement, I think perhaps we may be able to make some headway on this effort. To be able to make portable the masking enchantment that I had set up. That's my my village, the small place that I had resided for the past several years. It will take a bit of work, but please, let's spend a bit of time doing so now."
Alrighty, and
Okay.
I'm happy to do this.
Roll 3 arcane checks.
Arcade. That's a +3. Okay.
Hold on before you roll that.
What?
Are you skilled in arcane?
No.
Okay, never mind. Wait, hold on. Actually, I think you have to not be for this. Give me 1 second here to find
Hold
it.
on. Let me double check. What did I prepare? I did prepare an enhanced ability. What does that do again? Is something pretentious? Fox is cunning! Okay, yeah, let's do that.
Oh no, you don't have proficiency, you said?
Yeah, I don't have proficiency.
Okay, then I can't help you.
I'm quite sure that I didn't expend all my level 2 slots, so I would enhance ability to give advantage on my int. Which,
Okay.
So
Go ahead.
we have advantage on Arcana. So 1, 2.
Okay. For the next several hours, you and Akelia sit down, and you find yourself interacting with her, and even though you are an esteemed professor of Mistrala, and actually one of the governing 3, the Triarch, as elected by the Council of Mistrala, and an awakened individual being, and one of very few magic users from the mortal realm of your power level. You find yourself initially working with Akelia as peers as she begins to manipulate the arcane threads, but she quickly begins to outpace you a couple minutes into the process, and you see that this is no divine interaction here. Her mind just works in different ways as she sees magic and moves it and works around it. Oh, are you sparking this? Just out of curiosity. Did you say you were going to
Yeah,
spark
I
it?
was sparking, but I wasn't quite sure when I was supposed to apply my spark.
Alright, let's pretend you have a spark. Go ahead and roll a spark. Okay. And then you, as she begins to maneuver the weave and the threads of magic around you, you close your eyes and you focus. You focus on the light that you saw through Bafinzor's eyes, and your knowledge of the true essence of all of reality. As you open them, you can see beyond the physical. You can see beyond the material, and you can even see beyond the arcane. The energy itself that Akelia is manipulating, and the threads of the weave, you see them, and then you see through them, behind them. And you can see that what she's doing is pulling and manipulating the very essence of reality itself, as it flows through the weave. You know that what she's doing is on a very high level, and you can see it and appreciate the majesty of what she's doing and the intricacy of what she's doing, but you still can't quite understand it. And then Akelia brings her divinity to bear, and begins to, and what she's doing is begins to surpass scholarship and academia. It becomes more of an art, of an intuition, and yeah, you're trying to understand new math. Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
just enjoying the show now.
Exactly. And as the process goes on, you manage to work with her, and hold certain things in place, and maintain specific rune sequences, and as the hours drag on, you guys come across what you think will do what you guys are seeking to do. The level of enchantment that had to go into crafting this masking amulet, or applying this enchantment to an amulet, is incredibly intense, because you know that the demons themselves have an extreme sense for the divine. So you're seeking to mask her on a level that's a greater power level than anything you've worked with before. You're seeking to mask it to a degree that you've never experienced before. So, that being said, you believe that you are successful. Akelia looks at you after everything's said and done. It's about 3 hours later. It's past what would be for you guys midnight, and she looks up at you. A little bit of sweat, has accumulated across both of your brows, and she looks at you, and a smile comes to her face, and she says, "Friendly, I think we've done it. Thank you so much for your help."
I knew we'd do it. Yes, you're welcome. I knew we could do it. We really did we?
She says, that's one thing you did with the Irden sequence. I must say, I wasn't expecting it, and I'm not quite even sure why it's worked, but
Right?
it did. It's amazing. It's like you could see through what I was doing, and how the arcane arts would come together, and for some reason it worked. Thank you.
You're welcome. And I feel like at this point we should probably have some celebratory tea. Oolong?
She says, I'd love a cup. And then I believe that even gods must rest.
Indeed. But good work. And I shoulder bump her.
She smiles, and she takes your shoulder bump and turns it into a big hug.
Oh, tea spilling.
Okay. And around the time she's sitting down with her cup of tea, Elwyn, that's when you come across and you ask her whatever it was you were going to ask her.
Just to see if she knows if there's any way she can help me reset my spells.
You mean your spell list?
Yeah, change out spells.
Okay. She sits there and she says, Elwyn, I'm glad you came to me, she says. Thank you for not interrupting earlier. Renly and I were quite focused on our task at hand. But yes, she smiles. With these abilities and this sight that has been granted me by Mistra, I must admit that I do have a bit of influence that I did not have on the mortal plane. I don't know exactly how it works, but consider it a way of cheating. But yes, in a word, I believe I can help you. Come here. And she places her left hand on your head, touching her fingertips to your forehead, and you see her close her eyes briefly, and mutter a few words under her breath, and she opens them again, and she says, "There. In the morning when you awaken, you will find that there are many new thoughts and insights available to you. I believe you'll find that your intuition and your interaction with the weave can be refreshed.
Thank you. I knew I could. I knew
Yes.
you'd be able to do this. Thank you.
You are more than welcome, Elwin. Truth be told, Nutmeg was rather dull company. He is sweet, of course, but to have people that I knew from my life before, and to have these tasks to do, is a very, very welcome change of pace. So I thank you. It is good to not be alone.
I tell her, I might not have known you from your childhood, like Deimos, but now I know why he loves you so much. You're a good person.
You flatter me, Elwin. Thank you. Okay. And as you say that, the night is has grown old, and it's pretty late. You guys, in sheer exhaustion from your all the thousands and thousands of miles traveled, and the battles waged, you find yourselves falling into a very deep and peaceful sleep. Okay. The next morning, over 8 hours later, you guys awaken, and it's probably late morning by now. Like 11:30. McDonald's breakfast is about to close. You guys come to, and Altruus is standing above you, as vigilant as ever. What do you guys want to do?
I believe that Deimos has a reckoning to perform, if I remember correctly. Seriously,
Okay.
Deimos, you get the most colossal insult in the world last night, and you already forgot about it?
What? Oh, no, who's a compliment?
Nah, the big demon dude who said he was gonna bend you over and fuck you in the ass.
Who said that?
The big demon dude.
I didn't see
When-
the demon dude.
No, the one that the angel told us about. Remember, I sent the messages to him, and he replied and said he was gonna bend you over?
Where do you want to do that to me? You look a lot more ladylike than I do.
I don't
I'm
know,
so
but you said
confused.
you were so hyped to go kill him.
I didn't say kill him, I mean, pretty much destroy his ever existence, or he'll never be heard again.
So that's what we're doing today.
Okay.
I mean, we can't let this grudge go, or this insult go unanswered, right?
Well, I mean, yeah, you easily can. It's called being the bigger man.
Well,
But
I mean,
guess
if you want
in, like,
Tempest
high
to think
school,
that
you can't.
if you want your homeboy to think that you just let insults slide, I suppose we could go do something else.
I mean, the whole thing is, I don't think you understand how gods work. They're forgiving and nice. They're not in high school. They don't hold grudges.
Right.
Yeah, I really don't care what we do. Whatever.
Okay. Altruus looks down at you and says,
Curious. Do mortals always engage in conversation this way?
Yes, so the main thing is you have to use the word bro a lot. Bruce Willis is a common saying. And, yes, that sounds about right. It's way funner. Hey, Mr. Angel or Mrs. Angel or whatever you are, Angel, try it out. Say, Adis, you little boy bitch. Try it. Just say it out. Just say it out.
Adis. You little boy bitch.
I'm gonna,
Bro.
I'm gonna, bro. Oh, snap. Oh, okay, now say, Erwin, I want to bend you over and take advantage of that rare side.
Hey, Elwin, you remember what this angel did to that book last night? Might want to be careful playing games with someone who could literally cut you in half in the blink of an eye.
The angel looks up to the north and says,
He's begun to move.
Is he coming this way?
The creature circles to the west.
Well, Deimos?
So how are we taking this thing out?
Well, I was thinking we could fly up in the air and I could drop you on top of him and you could just, pile drive right through him. GG?
Yeah, but so how are we gonna kill it though?
Well, what? You don't think a Deimos nuke is gonna kill the guy?
I mean, what if we drop you instead?
You have that shield,
magic
Deimos.
stuff.
You have the shield.
Yeah.
No, magic doesn't work on him. Or it does, but if I use spells on him, then I can't cast spells anymore.
You
And
ever
it'll be
think
the same
about
thing.
going to the gym?
You ever think
you
about
have to worry
just
about
falling
spells.
from like 10,000 feet and using your shield? What you would do to somebody if you hit them with that shield?
But if I drop from a lower height, it'd be easier to hit, and it would do the same amount of damage.
Well, whatever height you
That's
choose.
centripetal force.
Whatever height
You
you
mortals
choose.
are indeed curious. However you approach Tabubo, pray use caution, great caution. For that being is of a power that is dangerous to even the gods.
I have a question, Angel. If we brought him here, could you kill him?
In time past, the answer would have been yes. As it stands now, I do not know. He has grown great in strength, as well as in size.
What do you guys
Well-
think?
It's up to you, Deimos.
Oh, I ain't making no plans.
No, I mean, it's up to you how we go about it, because our magic's useless against this fucker, and you're the only one that can beat the shit out of anything. We basically
Yeah.
get...
But this
We-
guy's like stronger than the guy we just fought, and one-on-one ain't gonna do much.
I lost... Let's see here.
We could try to think of a fancy way.
Mr. Angel Man,
I
are
lost
there
a
any
sixth of
other
my spell
remnants
slots.
of cool angel boys that possibly are still left on this plane that would potentially want to help us as we try to make a last-ditch effort to strike true and knock this boy out of the sky and to try to restore these cool little chain boys?
And
Can't wait to
this,
last.
within Torm's domain, I am the last. My counterpart, the Archangel of Mercy, fell to Tabubo's hand, and I, the Angel of Courage, am all that remains.
Alright, well, what do you guys think? Stamos definitely does not think we can take this thing out.
Ikelia comes forward and says, Uncle Deimos, I would like to venture forth and tell you that I'm willing to lend my strength to your battle. I've withheld being involved in the previous encounters, somewhat at Elwin's encouragement, but also partially out of fear and partially out of caution. But if I am to be a goddess in this land, I think it's time for me to take a stand. and to risk
Cast
as you have risked.
magic that's beyond magic or magic that's anti-magic.
Perhaps I don't know the extent of my strength, but I do know that I am beyond mortal now.
Okay. Cool. Alright, Erwin, Renly, what do you guys think?
I don't think we should risk any harm coming to you, Acalia. But it is up to you.
She says,
I believe
"Oh, go on.
this is training for a goddess. I believe that you need to take these steps. We can't hold you back and protect you in this journey. It is yours to take.
Indeed."
I'm sorry.
She says, "But the fates have brought you here as well. I think it is all of our journey, for as long as we are together."
I'll kind of chime in a little, be like, no disrespect intended, and I would never presume to tell a god how to act. However, how can you expect anyone else left on this plane to fight for you unless you fight too?
You are right. I cannot. I will fight with you. So what do you guys want to do?
Have
I'm gonna ask the angel if it has to remain here.
If
Like
if he has to,
Like, yeah, like
Or
if
she
he
has
were
to.
to say if he or she, traveled 10 miles away, would the vigil like fall apart or something?
Or does this vigil have wheels that cannot move quicker?
The vigil does not move. And if I were to leave this place, there would be none to guard it. The demons would have their way.
What if it was only temporary?
How temporary.
Huh. Well, like say we were to call on you to come help us for a moment. Are you able to come back swiftly on your own?
I have wings to fly, if that is what you mean. And I can fly at great speed.
Okay. So, from approximately where you sense this demon douchebag, no, I'm not going to explain what that is. How long do you think it'd take you to fly from where he is back to here?
A matter of hours.
Do you think the vigil would be safe for a few hours?
The vigil grows fragile. A full assault upon it would dismantle it more quickly than I could return, for certain.
And we can't be sure if there's one demon out there. There might be others just waiting for a chance like that.
Indeed. And if this vigil were to fall, all would be lost.
What do you guys want to do?
I make breakfast with Ambrose Spark.
I'm gonna ask the angel to lend me his or her form.
I'll be right back.
You wish a portion of my strength to take my form as yours.
in a mimicking sort of way. Like this, for instance, and I'll turn into the Star Dragon dude.
That creature, impressive as it is, gave you a bit of himself when he allowed you to take his form.
Correct.
I have not much to give. If I were to give you myself, my...
The angel pauses for a second and says,
It would be just for a time. I cannot afford to give you any more than that.
Adis, your
Yeah.
your abilities are based on not just transference but observation, correct? Witnessing.
But the creature has to be willing. The creature has to be willing or dead.
Okay. What I mean is that perhaps you could observe her, their power, and maybe look into the weave and deeper into it. Basically, I'm saying like maybe spark of insight and observe her and see if you can get something where she doesn't have to become weaker in that aspect. But
But that would be mimicking her power without her permission. That
no,
would
I
be
mean
a
if she's
violation.
willing, like as in
Oh, I see
yeah.
what you're saying. To draw. Oh, so what I think you're getting at is for me to try to use my new awakened power to try to derive by looking into her and create a form wholly new on its own without taking anything from her.
Yeah, yeah, like using Spark of Insight as well to boost that, so that even to up the mimicking aspect, so that you may be able to better true polymorph into her, without actually relying on her abilities.
Could I try
Since
that,
you're awakened.
Midas?
"You can try anything, yeah."
Okay, I'll use 2 sparks for it, if I can, and try to
No,
analyze
they're
her form.
they're one-offs. You can use one.
One-offs. Okay.
Yeah.
Oops, I accidentally marked them off. And try to analyze her form and essence to create a polymorph form.
Yeah, maybe she could display some of her prowess at maybe a light show. I don't know. So and I just get
That way-
Shimble and the kids ready to watch the show.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay. All right. So go ahead and so Altruus pauses and says,
I see. You wish to mimic without borrowing. Very well. It will be different, but it will be something wholly new.
I'll try. Anyway.
Behold, the power of Torm as it flows through me.
Then I die.
"No."
Everyone sunglasses.
Altruus
If I die,
raises
it's your fault, Redley.
its sword in the air, pointing it at the still darkened sky. It's the next day for you all, but it is still the evening here. And the light of the moon, as it floats in the sky, seems to radiate brighter, as does Altruis's own angelic light, until it's almost like they're twin moons before you. And the sword itself begins to radiate the same energy, and for a moment, the world around you seems as if it shifts. Seems as if it turns over, as if every atom just suddenly reverses its position, and all the very nature of things just becomes the inverse, and you can feel this radiant energy just pouring through the area. In that moment, Adis, as you are failing to grasp completely failing to grasp the power of divinity, you're searching, you're looking for something that you can try to ascertain, to try to glimpse from this display of power. Go ahead and roll. We'll call this your ability. It calls for arcane checks, right?
Yeah.
Would I be able
Okay.
I
to?
also have religion too.
What'd you say,
What was
Damos?
that, Amos?
Oh, so, like Avis is like all about the arcane stuff. He's super duper good at that crap, but he hasn't been totally around all this like holy crap, which Deimos
Mhm.
has. Can Deimos kind of like hold on to Adis and play as like a moss fit? So I'm like the overflow center to make sure he doesn't fry himself out.
Yeah, sure.
It's just a
Sure, why not?
I'm like the grounding wire / like regulator who tries to pull this together.
Sure, that allows Adis to get a little bit closer. At least that's what you think.
Okay,
You
Adis.
basically just take Adis and push him forward closer than he would want to be. And you say, I got you, bro.
Bro, I got you.
Collapsing.
You're gonna get such big halos.
Okay. Alright, Adis. Roll an arcana check, and then
Okay.
spark it.
Nope.
No.
Do I think that was actually an advantage, I believe, for all they most.
Okay, let's see here. Deimos.
Oh wait. Hold on. Never mind. Go ahead. Sorry.
Deimos.
Deimos, go ahead and roll a wisdom check just to see what happens.
All right.
Don't worry, I've got you.
Oh shit, I did. That's safe. So 11. So check. It would be +8.
And why do you have advantage?
So, I have no idea. So I got here.
Oh, you still have foresight on you. Hold on,
Oh,
let me
she
take this
still
stuff
has that
off.
on me. Yeah. Okay. Here. Let me just
Okay,
roll
go
check
ahead.
real fast.
All
Then. There we go.
Okay. Alright, Adis. I'll let you roll an arcana check again, but there will be a penalty. So it won't be your full proficiency. It'll be a -10.
Nice 10. Okay.
-10 to your current 18. So just
Okay.
-10 on the modifier.
Yes.
It's better than a 1.
Actually, I throw out an Arcana
Not
check just
really.
to show him how it
That's
works.
worse than the one roll. The one roll was a 19.
No, but
Okay.
it was still a crit fail.
Guys, it's impossible. Magic does not work here.
Okay. As the aura of energy just surrounds the place, and
Clap,
begins
clap.
begins to fade, Altruus pauses and lowers its sword. Its head bows slightly as if regaining and reconcentrating its focus. And Akelia comes up to you, Adis, puts her hand on your shoulder, and says, "Don't worry, Adis. I didn't quite understand divine power myself when I first experienced it. It would be a stretch for you to have been able to grasp it so quickly."
Bird.
Does-
Bird.
Now, does Deimos get it? Like, do I have a sick halo now around my deltoids?
And
Roll up.
I just kind of look at her and say, grasping the divine wasn't the issue. Converting it into the arcane was. But thanks, nonetheless.
Deimos, you have no halo. Go ahead and roll a d20. Yeah,
I
no
have
halo.
no idea what happened, guys. Apparently, angels can cast a light spell at a higher level.
I'll give the angel a polite bow and tell him or her thank you.
What do you think, kids? And I have them repeat after me. Thank you, Archangel. Now clap, clap.
The baby the baby goats bow their head with you and try to mimic your words, and they clap their little hooves together.
And
Don't forget to do a push-up. You gotta get him on a good workout chain early.
Hold on 1 second here.
all right. So we gonna try to fight this boy.
Hold on.
Now, do we? One last question I want to ask Angel, since we're braiding with so many freaking questions right now, is do we know if they're? I'm gonna ask you, is like,
Mr. Angel thing. do you know if there's any schism between the devils and the demons right now? Like, are they still totally buddy, or do you think they just don't like each other anymore?
Um. Roll a d20.
For the longest time, as the demons and devils ran rampant over Elysium, they moved as one. They served as one. Pawns of a far greater power. But as time moved on, and as the Red God grew further and further away, traversing the heights of Mount Celestia, the remaining fiends here on this plane, forgotten, practically disowned. There has been some infighting. I do know that they all seek to regain the favor of their deity. Tabubo himself seeks to consume the power of the divine, and perhaps by consuming Akelia, can rejoin his brethren in ascending Mount Celestia and rejoin himself at the side of Asmodeus. But here, locked off from the mount, he is forgotten. And there has been some discord between devil and demon.
Okay. Well, I mean, some devils are kind of just like fallen angels. They could easily be converted to becoming good guys, right?
I'm afraid I do not understand the words that you are uttering.
I look at Deimos like I'm like, what have you been smoking?
I think that like they could become good ones.
You just
Or,
uttered
like-
blasphemy to
No,
an
like,
angel,
no, they're good
Deimos. You
guys.
should stop before she cuts you in half.
Well, it's like when an out of shape person decides to work out, they can get really strong. These guys just need to get stuck on the right track. Good diet, good lifting schedule, good
Deimos.
praising to Tempest.
Rehabilitation.
Deimos, the demons and the devils don't have any choice about their lot in life any more than this angel does.
The angel could be bad, but this angel chose to follow Tempest.
No, this
This is
angel
one of the-
did what the gods told it to do.
It's fine, it's fine. I believe in everybody has a second chance, and in Deimos' world, Deimos is sunshines and buttercups.
Well, Deimos, how about you go give a second chance to the guy who said he was going to binge you over a rock?
Oh, I will. Oh,
Wait, who was
demons,
that?
I don't know about demons. Those guys are literally batshit insane. Devils, they're like more reasonable bad guys. They're like bank robbers.
Oh, Midas,
Devils
quick
are more.
question.
Deimos,
the devils are like bank robbers.
just because you slept with the
Bad
devil
guys
doesn't
who
mean
like
they're all
don't-
reasonable. Just
Midas,
because you
were
slept with a
saying
few of them doesn't mean
Yeah,
that
Renly, what
they're
did you
gonna
want?
be all hunky-dory.
Now this creature, this demon, is represents gluttony or something like that. Malcontent,
Mhm.
did she represent one of the 7 deadly sins, or am I just imagining?
No, if anything, she definitely would have been lust.
Do we think that Malcolm Fett was above this person,
Yes.
or do you think like which one? Okay,
Yeah,
so
she was a demon, a lord of the abyss, or
Okay.
a lady of the abyss, if you call it. This is an archdemon, high ranking, very very powerful, but not on the order of, it would
Okay.
be like one notch lower.
Okay.
archdemons can
Cool.
ascend to be lords, if they depose their liege, but that doesn't happen very often.
So the thing is, we took out one barely, but we had miracles. This one we have zero miracles, but we have a super mage lady. Unfortunately, this guy's like anti-mage mode.
It's a new arc. Don't we have all our miracles back?
Yeah, but we have like 7 levels of heaven in this space.
Wait, we
You do have your miracles back. Yeah, you do have your miracles back.
Yeah, last session, me and Rinley had this really long discussion about trying to use one.
They
I
are
think we really need to pull
an
Renly.
extremely rare resource, as in
Exactly.
Renly's
That's
right.
what-
You don't get them
That's
back
the
per
starting
plane.
Oh no, I know. No, my idea that me and Rinley were discussing was trying to use miracles to reorder Mount Celestia.
Now,
Put the top on the bottom.
And that's when I went, don't pull a Renly.
now I want to say is it possible to tap into a miracle power without actually burning your miracle? As in, like, let's say, like, I really want to bend into reality to get myself a talking backpack that happens to be a fork.
Oh my god!
Um,
If not,
there
I'm right.
there are all sorts of things in this plane and planes to come. You have no idea what you'll
Poor
what wonders
fork.
you'll behold. So
James is gonna miracle work back. Oh my god.
He's coming back at some point. He was the
Yeah.
best.
so just out of character real quick. So you do have your access to your miracles, but they really are like one per act. So like the Act 1 took 2.5 years for us to get through.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
that's not to say that as you grow in your characters, as you encounter things that allow you to advance in your awakening, that perhaps there'll be other abilities that come your way or things that can revitalize your miracles, but there are no promises.
Oh yeah. All right, cool. All right.
As the angel, I've just decided she's a she. If she could make me a sword, not a magic one, just a normal, standard, like short sword.
Very well. That is within my power. What size?
And I'll just like measure out like a normal size short sword.
So be it.
The air around you chills, and you can feel just in the display of magic and of divine strength around you, that your body itself begins to grow cold as the energy around you swirls and glistens and shakes, and then all of a sudden you feel yourself shrinking and growing rigid, and you clatter down to the ground. Your body is now a short sword.
You serious? All right.
Wait, you became a short food?
I didn't think
That's-
she would act like a genie, but okay.
That's what you asked.
I actually pick up the sword.
I'm like, I've always wanted a weapon that could talk to me.
It works for me.
All right.
I'll go
Anything, you guys doing anything else?
I'm gonna ask this the angel to hold this permanent for over a minute, so it stays permanent.
I doubt that
You
she
mean an
casts
hour?
true polymorph.
Oh, Mrs. Angel, Mr. Angel. Sorry, my friend here. He is he's not the smartest, and he's shy. He wears a mask all the time. He's a lost little boy. He hasn't fully found Tempest yet. What he meant to say is, would you be able to give him the ability to turn into a short sword at will? Like in and out. Like so you can morph into one and then not into one. That if it's not in your power, if you could turn him back, it is just a misunderstanding. He just doesn't know what he's doing. He's like one of those guys who says he's socially awkward around angels.
Will this allow you, mortals? Will it empower you in your fight against Tabubo?
No, not at one bit. but it would definitely, if you could potentially turn him back into a human, and then give him a short sword made of possibly steel, like one that is like a common to akin of a player's handbook short sword. If this is not a powerful thing, it would probably help. I don't know why he wants one, but it would probably help, and it would be good to take this guy out. Even if it was like silvered or adamantium or something, because we have to beat this guy up.
Okay. So, um, 1 second here.
Well played, Vitus. Well played.
I'm just looking and like
But-
pouring tea for everybody at this point, going like, wow, wow.
But if you can't turn him out into being a sword, I'm okay with that too. I've always wanted a magic sword.
Can I cast Adis's spells through him?
No. So,
Sword turn into dragon.
okay. So,
No, it doesn't work that way.
so, Altruus pauses and says,
I do not understand you mortals, but if this will aid you in your venture, then so be it. Come now, Adis, mortal from the material realm, chosen by the fates, companion of Achelia, goddess of magic, and slayer of demons and devils. Accept this boon, a blessing upon you that will stay with you for eternity to come, or until your ultimate demise, whichever is sooner. I bestow upon you this great power.
so Adis, you now have in your ability list, Boon of Altruus, Form of Short Sword.
Boom,
Which I
transformer.
which I could totally already do, but yeah.
All right, so it allows you to take the ability to turn into a short sword and back again at will. The short sword is completely ordinary. It is of normal steel, and
Actually,
Has-
that actually works because I was planning on doing something with a short sword for Deimos.
No,
but if I can incorporate myself into it, it'll be even better.
it has no magical abilities whatsoever. And once you're in short sword form, all you can do is lie there until you transform back.
No, it doesn't need to have anything. No, I will thank the angel for this wonderful building ability, and then I would rephrase my question, swapping out my for create.
I whisper to Edith, going, "Can't you, true polymorph that rock into a sword?"
It'll still be magical, which means it can be dispelled.
I
The angel's
and whoever
energy.
said angels don't have a sense of humor lied, because you have
angel-
one hell of a sense of humor.
The angel is has
Really
exhausted its strength for the day. To grant unto a mortal an eternal boon is not the type of thing that one does lightly.
Sweet.
So
Well, thank you.
Altruus, quick question. When it came to that demon, that glutton demon, what worked best against it? Since it eats magic permanently. What would really light it on fire as such?
The demon is a monster of ravenous appetite. He consumes all he sets his gaze upon, both the living and the non-living. No power, no force, no magic, and no energy is immune to his appetite. What's more, he can utilize the strength of whatever it is he consumes. However, there is a limit to what he can digest at any one time. In the past, I have been able to overwhelm him and his appetite, but he grows in power.
What happens when you overwhelm his appetites?
Then you can strike at him, his true form. When he can no longer consume, then his gluttony is no longer strength, and he is vulnerable.
I see. Okay.
All right. Well,
Are there any like trees around?
no, not in this area. It's actually pretty barren for a good
Rocks.
several
If
miles
you're looking for
around
a tree, I
the
point to
vigil.
the rabbit.
The rabbit's not
Oh
a
yeah,
rabbit
you never.
anymore. I do dispel that. And I'm not gonna cut a branch off your friend.
Why do you need a branch? You were just looking for a tree. Do you
Is
want
there
me
a
to turn
rock?
into a tree?
Do you want me to cut a branch off of you?
Yeah.
Exactly.
I wonder. I'm not
Is
quite
there
sure how
is there, are
that
there
would
any
work.
rocks around? Like
Sure.
decent sized rocks, like maybe like
Yeah.
the size of a baseball or
Sure.
like a basketball. All right. Let's see if this works. I'm gonna true polymorph the rock into a hiltless adamantine short sword.
Hiltless adamantine short sword.
Sword.
Okay.
That's it. And then I'll hold it for an hour so it'll stay permanent. And then, like, while we're traveling around and stuff, and we're not, like, trying to fight things, I'm gonna be basically trying to craft a spell that can allow a sword to cut through space.
All right.
Into the void. That's what I'm gonna try to do.
You can turn a creature into an object or a different creature. Let's see. You can transform the creature into a different creature, the creature into an object, or the object into a creature.
Oh, that's right. I don't think you can do object to object, can you?
Yeah, you can't do object to object.
Okay. Never mind then. We'll just put that on hold till I find one.
Okay. Kelly comes up and says, "Well, are we ready?"
Mm-hmm.
I guess.
Yeah, we have to go. Avenge Deimos' honor.
Then we shall do so together. All right. Akelia brings up her chariot, and she says, "I have not deliberately traveled in the direction of these demons. It's been several years now that I've been fleeing them and avoiding them. But there has to be a time to end such behaviors. Shall we go?"
By your leave.
Okay. As you enter the chariot, you guys begin to speed off to the northwest.
Since I know it'll take a while to get there, I will cast a spell over the next 10 minutes. I will transform into Moonkin form to help boost this. And I am going to attempt to cast Divine Truth. I don't even know if this will work, but
Divine what?
I will ask Divine.
Okay.
And I'm basically asking about a potential spell or magic that could absorb the environmental magic around it and expand, sort of like a battery or a cloud or something, and keep absorbing the ambient magic around it until it fills the container. Um, so that's what I'm trying to find out, if there's any sort of magic that might do that.
So a battery of some size, or just let's like absorb the energy around it and charge itself up.
Yeah, exactly. And I think I have to cast. I have to do a check, and this is
Yeah, go ahead and make your check.
wisdom.
It's a wisdom check.
And I failed this miserably. So there we go.
As
Like
you're
it.
as you're as you're doing that though, and you ask the question and you cast divine truth, sitting in the chariot next to you, Akelia just turns her head and she says, "It's possible, Renly." Which is
It
funny because
is?
you never mentioned, you never uttered the words, and you never anything like that. You
Yeah.
just cast the spell and sent it off into the
Exactly. I wasn't
the
quite
atmosphere.
sure how to explain the idea of a battery and stuff to anybody, so I was like, this is probably a shot in the wild, so I'll just ask the universe and they'll understand what I mean. Like, the universe has probably seen YouTube, Akelia hasn't. But, yay, Akelia!
She says, "It's possible, but it's not something that can be done." She says, "You'll need objects or something that has that's it's not a spell that can be crafted. If you can find something that does this innately, it can be harnessed and manipulated."
I see. Okay, that's a shot in the dark. Then, have you ever heard of anything like that on this?
She says, "If what I'm sensing ahead of me is accurate, then we may be heading in the direction of some sort such thing as we speak."
Alrighty! And I clap my hands and rub them with glee, like, okay, this is gonna be great. And then I stop and I pause and I look back to her. Wait, it's not the demon we're supposed to fight, is it?
She says, "There is something of his that works against magic itself. So, yes."
Crap. Well, so much for that idea.
All right.
Alrighty.
About an hour goes by as you guys are speeding along through the plains of Elysium. And then you notice that the environment around you begins to change. The soil is grayish and lifeless. Normally the golden shimmers of light passing through them, they begin to fade, and as you proceed further, they've darkened completely. There's no light now in the ground and in the rocks and in the foliage and trees around you. You do as again passing through this now wasteland type place. You know there are remnants of villages. Sometimes you cross what must have been huge battlegrounds, littered with the bones of incredible beings of various shapes and sizes, demons, skeletons and carcasses of demons, massive demons locked in mortal combat with divine creatures and celestial and angelic alike. But as you continue on, you guys can feel the what you saw before, the light being drained away. Now you can feel it as well, as it feels like just the vitality and the the force of life itself seems to have given way, or at least been sucked away towards this creature that you are traveling in the direction of. You see it on the horizon, before you arrive there, obviously. It is massive in size, easily the size of a hill, or a large hill, or um, not mountain type size, but it's like a significant. It's very significant. And all around it, traveling as it floats through the air, bulbous and quivering, various parts of its body just kind of shaking and heaving, with these thickish tentacles just kind of slithering and wrapping around it every once in a while. Floating in the air, about a good 30 feet up in the air. It's very large, so you guys on this picture are probably like yay big.
Oh yeah.
Underneath the demon are traveling a horde of withered-looking creatures. You can tell that they are just husks of their former selves, almost unrecognizable from what they used to be. Various shape and size, but they look for the most part the same. Former creatures of this realm. Some of them former demons, lower level demons. Some of them former incarnates. Just a horde of creatures that just follow along underneath this massive, quivering archdemon. Debubo lays eyes on your direction, and you can tell that, at least for a time, it's been traveling towards you. It sensed Ikelia's presence long ago, and has been floating in your direction. It doesn't move that fast at all. The horde itself underneath it manages to keep pace at its kind of shambling, half-walking kind of speed. But the thing is moving in your direction as you speed towards it.
Oh, you're up, Deimos.
Oh, I ain't doing nothing.
Well, that dude wants to pinch you over a mountain, man.
I think he's the one who sucked some of your life force out of you.
That's how I know he wants to bend you over.
Pretty sure he just wants to get through with you first.
Nope. He named you
Alright.
by name, yo.
Which one did he take advantage of first?
What's that?
Yeah, I believe he already took advantage of you, and he just wanted to finish the job.
There ain't nothing left for him to take from me.
I think we just got to figure out a good way to fight this boy.
Okay. So, before you is the creature Debubo. Move it a little bit lower.
I love the size difference.
Mm-hmm.
It puts things into such perspective.
Did you make that
Okay.
token in Photoshop?
Mhm.
Oh, cool. The one
And underneath
the
it.
thing I used. Ooh.
What?
No, go ahead.
The thing you use what?
Oh, the thing I used to make tokens. I can't do ovals.
Yeah. Okay. So, as you guys approach it, Ikelia kind of focuses. She stands up in the chariot. She leans forward, and you see her clasp her hands together, and a bright light just kind of emerges from between her hands, and you see her formulate what looks like a glistening spear or javelin made of pure light. And she looks at you all, and she says, "Into battle we go. Come now."
Indeed, so that battery you're talking about, where exactly is it on him?
She points at him and she says, "It's part of him itself. See there, those objects he holds and that which is nestled in his stomach."
I thought those were eyes.
They are not eyes. They're something else. All right.
Do they seem to be connected? Like, do they form a sort of circle or circuit? I'm trying to explain, like, battery theory and whether if you break one, you break the connection of the power.
She
I'm
says,
trying to have a physics conversation while she's about to hurl a divine spear at a giant demon.
I know not. I assume that we will
Okay.
be able to examine them once we pry them from its corpse. Everybody,
Sounds good.
roll initiative.
Now I get a 20.
All right. I'll just roll for Kelia. All right. I don't actually even have a character sheet for you, but she'll go on 20. All right. Renly, you are first on the initiative. So you guys are speeding towards this cluster of demons, small like withered demons on the ground, and the massive floating archdemon above them. What do you do?
Alrighty. I'm not quite sure. I'm just going to do this real quick. Crap.
Elwyn, what kind of continuous spells would help you?
What do you mean?
Well, like haste doesn't really do anything for you because you don't physical attack. Or does haste help you? I forget.
Okay, I think I sort of figured out what I'm gonna do. I don't know
Okay.
if this will actually work, but I'm going to try. And I'm going to I've got a spell that I prepped before. I'm not casting the spell, but I'm following what it does. So
Okay.
I'm taking regenerate, and what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to take the same idea behind it, which is that growth and restoration and increase in self, and I'm trying to actually channel that into the the area around the ball in the center, so the teeth basically. And the idea is that to increase the power in it, and so that it starts absorbing a lot of energy right now, and I wanted to spark it. So it's not actually regenerate, it's just like this kind of like power circuit that keeps cycling exponentially, and I would spark it to increase that.
Okay, so let's see here. Let me read regenerate real quick. You touch a creature and stimulate its natural healing. It regains hit points for the duration of the spell, and regenerates anything. Okay.
Limbs. So even though it might lose limbs, it regains them back, so it overcomes loss of limbs. But it's not regenerate as such, but it's that same concept of growth, and I'm trying to exponentially increase it, so it's almost cancerous. So from regenerate, basically I'm bringing cancer to this world. I'm sorry to say that, but okay.
Okay, and you're casting it on the orb
The
on
teeth
in
around
its.
the orb. The basically the mouth around the orb. So the orb will either absorb all the energy on those teeth, or those teeth are gonna grow really big and maybe destroy that orb. I don't know. I'm gonna see what happens.
Okay. All right.
I'm sorry.
You are free to do that once you touch it.
Crap. Okay. How far are we away from it?
On the map.
On the map. Okay. In which case, I'm going to, I would like to ready that, and then next turn I'll cast Dimension Door to get there. And that's about it for me.
Okay. Adis, as you guys are approaching this horde, what do you do?
Well, shit. is gonna be hard. Bonus action. I can't do the bonus action.
Oh no, that's me. Sorry, first I forgot.
So here, how big is this? 50 foot. So did these dudes look like they have wings, or do they look kind of like skeletons?
They're like skeletons-ish on the floor.
Okay. So that's 7th level. Deimos, you can haste yourself, right?
He can. That's part of his abilities.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, I will... Yeah, I'll just turn into the Nebularos. And I'll step off to the side and then turn into Nebularos. And then I will... Man, I wish there was an easy way to see what spells on your list was a bonus action.
Okay. There's that. Alright, so you shapeshift into Nebularos.
Yep, and then
And you guys are... did you step off the chariot?
Yes, I step off the chariot first.
Okay.
And off to the side. And then... So that's probably like... 20 foot of movement. So then I'll fly 60 feet up in the air.
Okay. We'll just call you, like, right over here.
And then... I believe that will be it. Yeah, that'll be it. Because turning it uses my action, so...
So you see some of these skeletons just kind of like keep hobbling forward. A couple of them get within range, and one of them launches a spear-like thing up in the air. It flies through, and it actually smacks you right in the chest, Elwyn. Several of them just start hurling these things. But it's a shard of bone that just kind of flies through. You get hit in the chest, Elwyn, with a 26.
Yeah.
Okay. You take 1d20 plus, or 1d6 plus 20 points of damage. But the thing gets embedded in your chest. And you see it's like a small bone, not about maybe the size of a dagger, just shoves itself into your chest, and you feel there, and it's barbed, so you're having a hard time ripping it out.
Oh no, Deimos, I got boned.
Wait, you?
Oh my god.
Wait, who did? Oh, no! You better not bone my boy.
Okay. All right. So, on its turn, Tabubo is first. He rolled a 19. He is going to float forward. And I'll move these things. So these skeletons on the map, they represent a lot of skeletons, obviously. I'm just moving them out of the way. These withered ones. So, he floats forward. He doesn't move very quickly, he gets about that far. And you can hear it gurgling and just sloshing around. You can see its fat just kind of quivering, and these tentacles just kind of like serpentine-like weaving around and slithering along the surface of his body. But as it comes closer, you guys notice that on its shoulder, there is, humanoid size, what looks like the body of a creature embedded underneath its skin, with a face that is just sticking out above the surface of the flesh. So the face of this creature is visible, but its body is like entombed underneath the skin of Tabubo's shoulder. And as Tabubo draws closer, you see that the that the the face on its shoulder, a small, feminine-looking face, is actually emitting a sound. At first, it seems too high-pitched to be audible, but as it modulates and as it continues to course along, it sounds somewhat like a melody almost, and it drifts in and out of your hearing range. And as it does, it turns into an eerie, disruptive sound, and you can feel it reverberating in your ears. And it seems to hone in on your guys' minds and physical forms, and the sound grows louder and louder as this creature draws closer to you. And the singing turns into this eerie, shrieking, kind of angry sound, and you guys feel yourselves being rattled and shaken and vibrated to the core of your beings. All right. So on the beginning of every turn, this thing continues to shriek and radiate. Let's see here. I'm going to take a screenshot real quick. Actually, you guys all just write down your maximum hit points, or just make note of your maximum hit points, because they will be changing. Okay.
So does this head look familiar to anything we've seen?
Does not.
Okay.
Does not. Okay. Actually, I'm going to write HP, so I'm just going to write this real quick. So Renly was 898. Okay. So all of you guys, your maximum hit points goes down by 100.
Ooh, no save.
No save.
Oh, gross.
Adis, this is your true form, not the form of the Nebularis.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So that was as it shimmers, as it kind of shakes and tips its way towards you. It gets around here, and a couple of tentacles lash out at you, Adis, since you're within range of it.
Okay.
One of them hits you. I'm just slapping you, kind of like your form across the torso. But as Tabubo gets closer, it begins to pivot in the air, and one of its hands rears up in the air, and you can see that a massive blow with its fist is coming in your general direction. It's kind of slow moving, so it doesn't hit you quite yet, but it is moving in your direction. All right, that is end of its turn. Deimos, you're up.
Shit. Oh, fuck. This guy's pretty cool. Deimos will spark up. I want to try it. Try it next time. Alright, so yeah, I'll go Super Deimos. And so this is like pretty much accurate, like distance-wise from him to us now.
Yes.
Alright. Okay, so I got that next turn. I got plan ahead for a second. And then I would like to move Elwyn behind me. And as my action, like additional action, I want to try to see if this barb thing is harmful / we can remove it.
Okay.
Without destroying him.
Okay.
No things. But I'm going to be activating my shield, pretty much my bonus action. My Sky Swell.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if it's possible, but I would like to try to spark it. To try to counteract, like, I want to have like a cool healing aura. This thing has like a sucking life force away aura.
Yes. Okay.
So I don't know if it'll do anything. I don't know.
Roll your
if
spark.
I'll roll. Okay. Oh,
That was a D3.
So that should, yeah, that's a 2. That's a 2. So
Okay, I was gonna say.
So yeah, it's not a 3.
Okay.
So that was a
It's 2.
D6. That was a D6.
Okay, a d6. Okay. All right. Okay. You pull your shield out, and looking again, activating your awakened vision. You see, you learn a couple things. One, that there is indeed a creature embedded in the shoulder of this massive, hideous archdemon, and Tabibo has harnessed its power, and has twisted it and manipulated it to its own devices. And this creature's cries are what caused the damage to you. You reach beneath the flow of what's real, and in the area that surrounds your shield, you grip some of the energy that's moving in and around it as you activate your Sky Swell's Tier 2 ability. You tweak it just slightly. Just an idea comes to your mind, and you activate it. And what you do is you set your shield resonating at a different frequency, a harmonious frequency, the exact opposite of what this sound, this thing that this creature is emanating. And in your immediate area, so within, we'll call it a 10-foot range around you, you are able to negate the effects of Tabibo's aura.
Sick.
Okay.
Right.
And what were you doing with Elwyn?
Ellen, so I have my other thing. I was just trying to see if like I use like my I mean I can't really cast another spell, but like look to see if there I'm proficient in medicine, to see if there's like a way we could try to remove this thing, because everything seems to be
So it's literally like a barbed arrowhead kind of thing. If you pull it out, it'll do a lot more damage. But you can tell that it is part of these creatures, and there is some latent life to it. So it does have an effect, or will have an effect within Elwyn. I mean, the simplest, most logical way to get it out is to push it all the way through and pull it out the other side.
Edwin, hey, you ever want to feel like what the Alpha Kappa sorority girls feel like? Okay, good. He's away.
He's away.
He's gonna punch straight through them.
I'm gonna rail this thing right through him.
Okay.
As long as I try not to hit the final fucking. I'm doing like a medicine thing while doing this. Like I'm trying to like nicely.
All right,
push
medicine
it
check
through
it.
him as the best
Medicine
as,
check.
like,
Woohoo!
Okay. All right, you're able to doing minimal additional damage. So Elwyn will take 6 points of additional piercing damage to his body as you manage to maneuver around any vital organs and any major arteries and that kind of stuff.
all right, sweet. Also, dumb question. I'm assuming like pretty much my thing just negates this stuff for my shields round. Does it still do any healing, or is the healing I just negated it for this action?
No, you can continue to do the healing things.
Oh, sick. Cool.
All right.
That's me.
So you have 5 rounds of it, so four to go. All right. For the next several turns, these creatures are moving forward. These withered demons and incarnates and celestials and stuff that were once their own individual beings are now just kind of like shambling forward. A few more launch volleys at you guys. We'll do one towards. One hits you, Nebularos, and gets embedded in your body. One comes towards Deimos. Oh, that hits you. And one more comes out towards Renly. We hit as well. So there are dozens of these things flying through the air. But so each of you get hit once. Elwyn's turn, if he's here.
Yeah, I'm here.
All right.
Just gonna drop a nice little fireball right here. Take some of my fire herbs.
Yeah, they blow up.
Nice. And then for my main action, I will quicken a firebolt. Did I see where these guys are attacking that big thing?
No one's attacked it yet.
No one's attacked it? I'm gonna try to hit it
No.
in one of those bellies that you... Like the little ticks that are on its belly. Like,
Okay.
you know what I mean? You know which one I mean?
Which I can't see. What do you mean?
I think he's talking about the teeth.
The teeth?
No, like these little... it's because my pointer goes behind the picture. Can you bring up the big picture of them?
Oh, the little
Okay.
eye.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, those. I'm gonna try to hit that.
Alright.
Here's just the attack.
Oh, Davis, did you tell us anything about your look-see with the spark thingy, or no, whatever you were doing when you were looking at it?
Yeah, I mean, it's fair to assume that he would have communicated that with you.
Okay, so those are my 3 attacks.
Okay. They all hit.
What happens?
Okay. As those firebolts smack into its torso, you see them bursting into flame, and the flesh in its gut being ripped apart, and the fire just kind of consuming it. That little eyeball that you're aiming at is singed and burned off of its form.
Holy shit, guys.
The demon shrieks, and you can hear the pain just kind of quivering through its body.
Nice. That's my turn.
Okay. More withered ones do their movement stuff and come forward. They're all just kind of moving all around in this direction. A few more of these bone fletchets fly through the air. We'll do another one at Adis. Hits. And we'll do one more at Deimos. Man, I'm rolling like crazy. Alright. Renly. On your turn, as you begin to move, the bone shard that's in your body that
I
hit
have
you
two
last
things I
turn.
need to mention.
Okay.
Which is I'm air elemental, so in fact I can't actually dimension door because I can't wear my cloak in air elemental form, so I just fly up to
Okay.
it. And I do not know if the bone shard will stay in me since I'm air. So that's the second thing which I wanted to just double check.
The elemental form is
But,
like a mini tornado, right?
it's pretty much an air elemental, so I can whirlwind, but that's not my natural form.
Okay, well,
It's
It
still
does.
gaseous form.
it was caught up within your form, even though it's minorly physical, and it blows up inside you.
Alrighty.
Okay, what do you do?
Let me make sure that I actually. Yep, I keep concentration. Okay, cool. I'm flying forward because I can't
Okay.
actually dimension door, and then I'm still in this form, so I can move further away. I'm not sure what its reach is, but I'm gonna be over here at the end, I think. But my ready thingy with near the teeth and the mouth goes off. So should I roll the spark and everything?
All right, wait, are you touching it?
Yep, I'm touching it. This is gonna
So
go
you gotta
so
go all the way up
badly.
to it. Yeah, touch
I
it.
go
So.
all the way up, and then I move back out with the rest of my movement. So I end
Okay.
up over there if all things go well.
Okay. So you. Alright, so you touch it and you cast a spark to regenerate on it. And you rolled a 2 on
Well,
your spark?
I haven't rolled it yet, so let's roll it.
Yeah, go ahead and roll it.
2.
Okay. Alright. And you're trying to focus this energy to regrow its tissue so fast that it becomes like cancerous and disrupted
Yeah,
to its
and
form.
I know that the natural form seems to be like to absorb energy, so I'm literally feeding into it. So I'm trying to create a pattern of like growth and feeding into that. So I'm hoping that this works without any like rejection.
Okay. And as you fly back away from it, one of its tentacles lashes out at you.
Alrighty.
That's actually a pretty good thought. Okay. You can see that the beginnings of your spell have taken effect. The teeth begin to extend slowly, and growing like almost as if they begin to just protrude further. Some of them growing at odd angles, growing into its own form. More teeth begin to grow behind it, and the flesh around it, what would be the gum of the teeth, also begins to grow. Not in a uniform manner, but like all gnarly and just sort of slowly expanding out from where it is. Begins to grow and start covering up this orb, this sphere that's in its gut. You can definitely tell from its physical reaction that Tabubo is uncomfortable with this development. On her turn, Akelia is going to leap off the chariot, move forward here, and she's not the most athletic person, but she can move at average human being speed. And her eyes set on Tabubo. She cries out something to the effect of, "If you want my power, then have it." And she hurls a divine javelin into Tabubo. The spear just slams through him, just like a beam of light, just blasting through its core, its center, piercing through, and just a glowing energy beam blazing through it towards the other side. As the beam of light just impales this large creature, you guys see the orb in its right hand begin to move, and like it's moving as if it were alive, as like there are things underneath the surface. And you guys see closer. These aren't really orbs; they're more like sacks of flesh and stuff inside. Almost like they're fluid filled, but like it's thick viscous fluid. Anyway, the orb into the sack into Bubo's right hand begins to undulate and move a little bit, and the light from Akelia's divine spear attack begins to be sucked towards and drained towards its right hand, the sack in its right hand, and before long it is all drained away completely into this sack in its right hand. So I'll roll a bunch of damages. Actually, how do I just... Hold on a second. Okay, so we'll just say for the sake of numbers right now that what you guys can see is damage roughly in that range from Akelia's first javelin attack. Okay. Akelia pauses and looks at you all, and she says, "It seems this demon is absorption powers are indeed great. I don't know if I should do something like that again. Okay, Renly, your turn's over. Adis, you're up. Oh,
Alright,
the fist comes pounding down on you.
and 2 of the bone thingies explode.
Yes. So the fist first, it just shatters in this whole area here. Like, this whole area. The fist comes blasting down. There's damage. A bunch of these withered ones just get completely powdered. Your form takes that, and you also take 2 bone shards in damage as they explode inside you. Okay. All right, your turn.
So I'm gonna fly 80 feet up in the air, staying in, combat with him. But that'll put me 120 in the air.
Right.
I'm gonna use my breath weapon, and I'm gonna spark it. So here's hoping for a 3, or this is not gonna work the way I plan. Fuck it.
Midas, can you look at that real quick? I messaged you on Discord, see if that is anything at all that I could take for my 9th level.
Okay.
Called the spell Eldwin Fire God from the Sky.
Yes,
All right, I'll look at it.
I've actually approved it for you.
Alright, I got a 1 for the spark, so I'll just try this. So on his right hand with the little doohickey ball thing.
Okay.
Yeah, it can go away now. Along with his hand.
You're casting the
Gravity break. The black hole breath.
Okay.
I was hoping I'd get a 3 on the spark and then I'd take the center one with it, but no such luck.
As you cast it on which hand?
I'm gonna put it right against one of the sack in his right hand.
Okay. You cast it on that, and you do see a shimmer of that black energy, that negative energy, if it were, forming around or in the core of that sack. But as it does, the sack begins to vibrate and undulate very, very rapidly, working overtime. And the result is, at the end of it, it looks like the sack itself has hardened. You cease to see fluid moving inside it, and it seems to be. So the other 2 sacks seem to be active. There's stuff flowing inside of it. There's fluid and organs and things just moving beneath the surface. This sack grows hard and dull and completely still. It doesn't look dead. It looks like it's resting. Okay, that's what happens.
I will. How high in the air is it? The hand? Roughly?
It's about even with where you are. If you're 120 feet up in the air,
Okay.
yeah.
Alright. I am going to. Yep, that's what I'm going to do. Alright, I am going to quicken with my scroll thingy. And I am, as a bonus action, going to cast Disintegrate on it.
On the same sack.
Yeah,
On the
on
one
the same
that's
side.
hardened.
Okay, go ahead and roll damage.
And I will use my mage ability to max the damage.
Okay.
Or wizard ability, I should say. Max. Yeah, and I'll spark it too, for fun. This is all I got, gents. So, the other 2 are up to y'all. Oops.
'Kay.
Can't mark it off. And there's the roll for it. So 648 damage.
Okay. The as you cast disintegrate at this this sack in his right hand, the spell, the beam, the gold, the glistening green beam of energy hurtles towards it, and it diffracts around it, and it like curves through the air, and it strikes the orb in the sack in his left hand, and the sack begins to vibrate and undulate and quiver very rapidly, almost as if it's working overtime, as the disintegrate beam hits the sack in his left hand, and then it stops, and it continues to just move around back as normal.
Do I lose my spell slot?
Yes.
Okay. I got nothing else, gents. It's all on you because I'm going to lose this form the next time I get attacked, so.
Oh, okay.
I've already taken almost 1,000 damage.
Yeah, but I mean, you got 100 back. I mean, how much do you love Tempest?
No, how did I get 100 back?
I healed you for 100.
Oh, Renly, you lost that spell slot too for that touch spell, and
Oh,
let's
okay.
see,
Yeah. Okay.
Elwyn,
Let me like.
you just cast cantrips, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so you didn't lose
Oh,
those.
I cast Fireball from my staff against the dudes,
All right, yeah,
against the...
yeah, that's fine. That's fine. You didn't cast it on him. Okay. All right. Deimos, your turn. Oh, actually, hold on. No. The withered one goes first. Hurl some more of these bone shards. Since Nebularis is the biggest thing in the sky. Hits.
Hold on. I will Void Dweller that and redirect it at Demon Dude.
Maybe the center eye thingy.
It's probably not within 30 feet because I'm flying like up above this guy. If I could hit the eye. Oh, well, is either of the orbs in his hand within 30 feet of me?
We'll say the third one, the one in his right hand, is.
Okay, I'll redirect the attack at that. And
So using Void Twist?
Yeah, using Void Twist.
Okay. As this thing strikes him, it does indeed damage him. You see him, it just twitch slightly as the shard just embeds itself into the sack in his right hand.
Sweet. These guys
All right.
got 120 foot range, guys.
On his turn, the sirens, not the siren song, the eerie, ghostly song continues to emanate. Let's see, Renly and Adis, you both lose 100 to your max hit points.
Alrighty.
Okay. So it puts me at 312.
Okay. And, he is going to move forward a little bit closer. One tentacle at Renly. Hits. One tentacle at Adis. Hits. And it raises up another massive fist, and it begins to slowly move it in your direction, Renly.
Alrighty.
Deimos, your turn.
Hey, Owen.
Yo,
Do you want to jump on my back?
bro, say no more.
Oh, so I'm hypothetically thinking, but would you be ashamed if I tried to climb this boy, and then, like, you fired me like a Deimos cannon through this lady's head thing who's criming or making us all lose our health?
Let's do it.
It sounds like a thing.
Alright, Deimos will then, try a thing. It probably won't do nothing.
Oh,
but
sorry.
Deimos is gonna be going super duper deep.
Okay.
And I want to spark it.
You're sparking your Super Deimos?
Yes. So I got a 2.
How would that work?
For ease of purposes, I will not do that because it is way too much work right
It just
now. So
doubles.
Deimos
It
will
doubles
retcon
the
that
outcome.
and not do that because that is
It would-
too much work for us right now. For ease of access.
I was gonna say, hold on a second.
It would
I guess
just
we
be
could double
4
everything.
AC, 4 AC, 50 hit points, and 48 damage. It's not hard to just write it in there and change it.
You get another attack, and your movement speed would go up again.
Okay.
Because this is your Super Saiyan form. Your level 2 second
Yeah.
Super Saiyan form.
Okay,
So
so
I'm fine with that.
I found the
Here,
third
if you want to use it on that, you can use it. I'll just change your effects real quick.
Okay, I'll do that real fast then.
Alright,
and
so it's
so I
there.
have Elwyn, like, quickly just like he just like tethers onto me, and I'm gonna start sprinting up this boy.
Yeah, so your speed is crazy. Yeah, your AC is higher. I changed the damage on it. You do so you have 2 extra attacks, 1 from each level. So you'll have a third. So you have 3 full extra attacks.
Oh shit.
In this form.
So pretty much I'm running up to this, like trying to get up to the area where this lady's at. Like I'm just like full on getting up to this like lady face.
Hmm.
And I'm gonna start pounding it in and seeing what happens.
Roll damage.
Alright, but it looks like a bad thing, right?
The face?
Does it look like yes.
Oh, here, hold on a second here.
It
Now that
doesn't
you're
happen
close to
look
it.
like, it doesn't happen to look like Illustray, does it?
Now that you're close to it. Hold on, let me. This is exactly what it looks like.
Can we think that that may or may not have been like an absorbed angel or god?
Roll religion check. It looks a lot like the countenances of angels that you've seen. And from what you can tell, this was an angel of great power.
Okay. Now, does it look like fully absorbed, or do you think I could rip it out?
It's firmly embedded within
Alright.
Tabibo's flesh. I mean, it might be a
Well,
process
then-
to rip it out, but you can try whatever you
use
want.
My attacks. I'm pounding around this thing, so I'll have all these attacks that are going into more for pounding into.
Okay.
Man, it is weird to have this many attacks. I feel like a fighter. Oh, miss. But I will
So you
use
hit 3 times.
I use my bonus to like kind of reach in, kind of like grapple, start pulling this thing out.
Okay.
And
So
by doing, oh sorry, yeah.
this is what happens. You just did a total of 345 damage right there. 1, 2. Oh wait. Okay, so what happens is as your divine fists slam into this creature, okay, as your divine fists slam into this creature's body and you start ripping at its flesh, you can see the shock waves of the impact of your fists just like rippling out across its whole fleshy exterior. And you see that on the first blow, the shock wave just flows across. Here, let me show you that on the map. So you guys are like right here. Alright, that's where the angel's face is. The first blow, the shock wave flows this way, and you can see that this orb, that this sack in its left hand, undulates again and then hardens up and grows dormant. Alright? The next two flow in this direction, and this sack begins to undulate as well, but it is not dormant. It takes... and then other than that, there's no visible effect on this creature's form.
Okay. Well, then I'll start trying, like, I don't even pay attention, but I'm, like, grappling this creature. Like, I'm pulling at this thing, and I hear Fin's on the back, like, bro, grapple that boy. So I'm trying to, that's my athletics for the grappling.
Rip out its nipple ring.
Yeah, it's gonna lose a nipple ring. And that's the main thing. And, I'm gonna keep pounding that titty.
Okay. Let's see here. You're not really grappling it, you're just holding onto it. It's so much bigger than you. I'll say that your boon activates, but you just get one more attack.
Okay, hey, that works for me.
Come on, get out of here, angel boy.
Okay.
Mainly, I really want to save the angel, so.
Okay. The, oops. That's not what I wanted to do. Okay. The ripple of that goes towards the ripple of that last blow goes towards the central orb again, and it is undulating and moving around and processing very quickly, but it is still very much active and moving.
Sick. But how far is the Nebby boy? He's like up in the air, right?
Yeah, he's kind of like right here, right now.
Oh, is he within like 60-ish feet of me? We're
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, that's me.
Okay. All right. So I was googling Super Saiyan levels. So we'll call this. So if your second level is Super Saiyan 2, this isn't quite Super Saiyan 3, right? So this would be like
Super Saiyan
2.5.
2, but I get that buff thing that they do, right?
No, this is update 2.5.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it goes like Super Saiyan 1, Super Saiyan 2.
With Kaioken?
Yeah, with Kaioken. Kaioken 1. There we go.
With Kaioken 1? Okay, sure. Alright. Alright, so more of these bone creatures are starting to move their way in this direction. A couple of them hurl some bone fletchets. One at Renly.
Midas.
Hits. Yo.
I forgot something. Because his turn was right before Deimos's. The little spiky thing blew up in his right hand?
Yes, it would have. Okay, so so let's see here. Let me roll that real quick.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Sorry.
I did too. All right. So what that did was it changed the order of things, so that one more blow. All three of these sacks, the one in its right, the small ones in its left and right hand, and the large one in its core, have grown dull. They are no longer. So Deimos, with your last attack, the stomach sac grew hardened, and it's not undulating anymore. It's not like there's stuff moving underneath the surface. It's grown dormant. Okay. Elwyn, your turn.
Alright, I'm just unleashing Elwyn's storm of fire bolts at this guy.
Elwyn, let's see here. So on this Elwyn fire god thing,
Yeah.
right? I'm good with it. The duration is too long. Let's keep it. If we put it at 1 minute, I think we'll
1 minute?
be good.
Sounds good. Okay, I'll make it right now. All right. So I'm just gonna do all 6, and then I'll do all the bookkeeping on my sorcery points.
Well, you hit one of the both the things are hardened, by the way, too.
What's that?
His like center area and his right hand thing are hardened.
Okay,
All
so
three
just
are.
All 3 of them are.
Oh, are they all? Oh, is the one other one not?
All
broken
3 are.
yet?
All 3
All
are.
3 are hardened. Thanks to your cool, like, Super Saiyan fisticuffs.
I'm just gonna keep attacking with fire bolts. I don't know what's going on.
Okay. Yeah, as you begin raining down fire across its form, the effect on its skin and on its flesh is immediate. Bursting into flame, parts of its flesh bubbling and boiling. All of them are landing true.
It's my turn.
Okay. More withered ones move around into place. Akelia, noticing what's going on, crafts crafts 2 divine javelins, and hurls them through its form again. This time, as they strike through the core of this creature, Tabubo lets out this horrific gurgling squeal as 2 huge beams of divine light pierce through it. It shakes, it shudders, and it vibrates, quivering in the air. Akelia does massive damage to it.
Oh shit.
Okay. That's her turn. Renly, you're up.
Alrighty. I'm going to do 2 things, which is firstly, I'm going to dimension door 500 feet up with my cloak,
No,
and then
no effect.
I'm not actually able to go up.
You can't dimension door. I mean, you cast a spell, but nothing happens.
Nothing happens. Okay, so my action goes. Crap. Okay.
Hold on, can I throw in a possible retcon there? Because she's been seeing us, me and Elwyn, for like the entire time we've been here trying to learn how to teleport here. Would it be a safe assumption that she would know
Oh yeah,
she
I forgot
couldn't do
about
that?
that. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm like, wait, why is it not working? I'm like, oh yeah, you can't dimension door here. Damn it. Alrighty. In which case, I am going to crap. Fly up, move up, fast speed. Damn it. I don't have anything that'll move fast. Might as well. Yeah, that is true. Okay, fine. Right now I'm just going to move backwards. 5, 10, 15, 20. End up over there. Darn it, everything. I should have. Well, she had last turn. Crap. Okay. Nothing I can do at the moment then. I think I'll move fast. Ooh,
Do you have an
look at that.
AoE to deal with the little dudes?
Instead, what I am going to do is, I'm going to crap. No, that won't work either. Okay, yeah, I'm just going to do this. I can get this to work. Wait, did I already use this? I did already use it. Shit. That's not gonna work. That's not gonna work. That's not gonna work.
Well,
I'm looking and I'm like, crap, I do not have anything that will work right now. So I am just going to turn into Moonkin form. And I don't
Okay.
think Moonkin form has a bonus action anything, so that'll be my
all right, 1 second here. So you turn into Moon Scythe.
yeah.
And let me get this lined up correctly. Okay, so Moon Scythe is right there.
I've used all my movement, I think. Wait, hold on. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I'd be there. Yeah, that'll be it.
Okay.
Boundary zone, yeah.
And then as that happens, his fist comes down and strikes you. It moves very slowly, if you guys hadn't figured out by now.
Okay.
So in
Moves
this
slow and looks
area
like a
right
bug
here,
train.
and we'll say Kelly gets blasted back slightly too. All you got, everyone in that area, a couple of skeletons get blasted back. Moon Scythe gets slammed down to the ground.
Got lucky, Renly.
I did. I'm like,
did.
wow,
When,
okay.
when
let's
he
not do
bitch
that
slapped
roll.
me, he did 800 damage.
I know. I was like, okay, I was so sure I was gonna die at some point.
Okay. So that's now that's the end of your turn. Adis, you're up. Let's see. Did you have a bone shard in you? I think you did,
I
right?
did not. I redirected it.
That's right. Oh, Renly had one in her, didn't she?
Ooh, crap. Yeah.
But
Yeah. So here, I'll at the beginning of your turn, Renly, you would have taken this. Okay.
Alrighty.
Now it's Adis' turn.
So it's probably obvious that I can see what Deimos is doing down there, right?
On his shoulder, yeah.
All right.
Take care of the big guy. I saved
I
the
didn't
lady.
get my breath weapon back.
Do stuff and things. Hump its leg.
I yell at Akelia to like move away in the sleigh if she can. Kite.
I mean, so all these things, like, they do seem pretty dormant, right?
All
Sure.
the sacks, yes.
Yeah. So
Which
we can damage him or try to damage those things.
I'll go for the whichever hand orb is closest to me.
I
Okay,
feel like
the right
the
one.
withered ones are doing something. I'm not sure what.
So that was the crit, and then that's the regular one.
Okay. So you land on its hand and you start tearing at it and clawing at it and slashing it. And as you're closer, you get a first look. It's not really holding these things. These things are part of him.
Okay.
All right, these sacks. And they're very much attached to him. You can tell that the skin is flows right into his skin and everything like that.
Alrighty.
His right hand and the orb itself is shredded. As your claws dig deep and tear, you can see pus and blood flowing out of it. That was your action. I don't think you have any other.
Looking to. I don't think I have anything. So fucking bonus action. Yeah. That will be it.
Okay. Another withered one fires an attack. A bone shard. They're flying through the air. There's lots of these bone shards going over there. Since withered ones have been dying, they. Adis, I can hear your mic again.
Oh, sorry.
The one of them happens to head in the direction of. We'll go Moon Scythe. Okay. Beginning of Tabubo's turn. Everyone not within range of Deimos. So we're talking Adis and Moons and Renly. You guys lose another maximum 100 hit points from your maximum health.
How close do we have
Alrighty.
to be to Deimos?
10 feet.
Within
10
10 feet of him.
Okay, so I will mark that down to 212.
Renly, did you do yours?
Yeah. I've already taken down the 100.
Okay. At the start of his turn, you hear this gluttonous voice just kind of gurgling out. This massive creature is enraged at the harm you've done to it, and also the fact that there is a goddess there in front of him. His booming voice just kind of like shakes the landscape around you. I guess it would be abyssal.
I can translate.
This guy didn't go to a good
Deimos.
school. Wait,
Deimos. He said that your ass is his.
I'm pretty sure strength, so that makes sense. But my butt.
He said your mouth is his.
I'm
And
pretty
he's
sure
gonna
he said
take your
God,
flesh.
but I have a godlike mouth because I'm a bard. Does that make sense?
Okay. Two things happen. Well, really just one thing. Instead of attacking, two tentacle lash attacks go out. So one goes towards Deimos, you're on his shoulder, misses. One goes towards Elwyn, hits
I'll
Elwyn.
shield.
Okay,
I'll shield.
deflects off of your shield. It raises its right hand and the sack that it contains, and suddenly the sack just kind of like splits open a little bit, and in these orifices that open up in the sack, two things come flying out. One of them, the first one, is a gravitic beam that strikes you in the chest, Adis, and your form of Nebularos just gets crushed.
Oh, it just automatically hits?
Yep.
Okay.
Your physical form is visible and begins to fall. The second is a divine javelin that goes flying out right through the torso of Akelia.
Nope. No, that's not happening.
The right Akelia gasps as this light blasts through her torso. She grabs her chest and she falls backwards onto the ground, clutching, just in a fetal position on the ground. Her right hand, Tabubo's right hand, the sack in his hand, is now alive as ever and undulating and active. Deimos, your turn.
Well, crap.
Oh, Deimos, or Midas, I'll use Feather.
Yep. Okay. All right, you use Feather.
All right.
And actually, hold on, wait a second. So, it's it's almost 1 o'clock my time. Have you guys figured out what's going on yet with him?
Oh, kind of.
Basically, gotta pound him till the balls become hard, and then we can actually hurt him. And then whatever we pounded into the balls, he's gonna pound back into us.
So we have a small window of opportunity to kill him while the balls are hardened, but as soon as he lets loose, he starts absorbing again.
There you go. All right. And it's a little more complicated than that, because you notice that Elwyn's fire blasts have been getting through, and like when the withered ones threw their bone shard and you directed at him, it hit him. So it's not all attacks, but some attacks are absorbed from somewhere.
And cantrips and physical attacks have been working. Non-magical stuff, yeah. But I don't think the bone shards are magical, but Elwyn's fists are magical.
Okay. So let's pick this up next week. Finish it.
Hey,
You guys have managed to make your way through almost half of his hit points. A little less.
ooh, not bad. There's
Alright.
a decent chance that we'll
Alright.
maybe live. I love it.
If only I'd
And
got
you
my
guys have been marking off.
backpack
Anytime
back.
you guys have been casting spells, those spell slots are gone, right?
Yeah, the only spells
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
cast are the
What I've been doing on mine is giving myself pack magic slots to identify what slots I have lost.
Yeah, I did the same.
Yeah, just as a
and
notation.
I'm assuming that counts for my Super Saiyan stuff too, right? Or...
Yes, those spell slots are gone.
Okay, cool.
So the shield
Alright.
spells and stuff like that too.
Yeah.
You have to
Yeah.
cast it on the guy, right?
Well, right
Something
next to him, since they're sitting right next to him.
Oh, yeah,
That
that
I mean, they're
absorbs
absorbable. The fireball that Elwyn cast when he was like a mile away, or like 60 yards away, that's fine.
Okay.
Okay.
Alright.
Let's
And-
call it there, and I'll catch you guys next week.
Alright.
Alright.
Midas, during the week, can I
Yo.
send you messages of like that's like the most powerful? That's in the 9th level. But like silly spells, like there's one that's called Ass Quake, where you twerk and it does some stuff.
Actually,
Sure. Yeah, just send it to me in Discord. Totally.
Midas.
Oh,
Midas.
Yo.
Alex, are you running tomorrow or is it
Yeah.
Thursday now? Okay, cool.
Not tomorrow.
Same time.
Yes,
Or-
yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah, same time.
This is for
so
me.
yes.
This is for me and
Later.
Midas. You know how you told us with our enlightened, if we had any ideas for like tweaking spells, we could run it by you.
Mhm.
What about being able to cast shield on someone else?
It would be a different spell slot.
Right.
I
that's
wouldn't
what
do a
I
level 1 spell slot, but
That's cool.
and it would take your reaction.
Mhm.
And yeah, we had to put a few limitations on it, but sure. I don't see why
Okay,
not.
I'll put something together to throw at you sometime this week.
Yeah, write it up and just email it to me or send it to me on Discord. That's fine.
All right, cool. Sounds good.
All right,
And thanks
later,
for the
guys.
game.
See you next week. Thanks for staying late.
Yeah, it was fun.